out for my morning walk. A car just drove by with a mom and a little girl right alongside the lake. And the little girl had her window down, and I looked over and she smiled and she said, "Good morning." So sweet. Which took me back to a memory of another little girl. I used to be a parapro in the elementary school, the second grade, first and second split, 2 of those classes in the second grade class, and one of the classes was a little girl that reminded me of myself when I was little. She had the same haircut and same dark brown eyes, same shyness. Oh, I'm getting shivers. I only worked with her a couple times, but we had like a connection between us. Like we just knew each other. And she rode my kid's bus with them, so she lived close by. And we have this road that comes to a T. It's and then winter time, one side of the T gets really, really icy, and it's on a hill. So you're coming up the hill to try and stop, and a lot of times you can't. You slide through. And the other road going past is like 55 miles per hour, and the sight it's hard to see there. So there's been a lot of accidents over the years. And the big arrow sign every couple of years would get bigger and bigger and bigger. And this little girl that I knew, that reminded me of myself, was in a car accident there. And I don't recall the details. I just know that her and her mom passed away together. And it hit me this morning that I have to live for her too. That child that didn't get to live. And to keep healing my child so I can live. They had a funeral viewing, and I was debating whether or not to take my kids, because they were still in grade school. Well, two of them were in grade school. 2 were, 5-6 years older. And because I didn't have that experience as a child, I felt like I wasn't taught how to grieve. I didn't go to my first funeral until I was like 22 years old. I went to a memorial when I was a teenager, where they just had a big picture and they played some music and everybody cried, but I'd never seen a body until I was in my 20s. And that was Uncle John. I remember him smiling. Anyway, I decided to take my kids because I felt like I had a lack of know-how and how to grieve and how to accept that we're just here for a little bit of time in this body. So we sat outside, kind of like a vestibule area, because they were in the middle of ceremony. We had gotten lost. I thought it was in one town, but it was in another. So we were a little late. And we just sat in the back of the vestibule and sort of watched through windows with no sound, which is very profound. I remember another little girl in that class, in her class, had long blonde curly hair, and she was leaning over her mother's shoulder, so she was sitting backwards, and she recognized me, and she had tears in her eyes, and she waved to say hello. I tried to smile and wave back, but to let her know it was okay. But I got to talk to one of my sons about this. And because my husband at the time was up north in school, and he had disapproved, I guess you'd say, of me taking our kids to a funeral. My son verified that was good for him. I didn't freak him out. I didn't make him afraid. I helped him to understand, and that's great validation for me for making the right choice, even though my husband didn't think it was. So in the spirit of reframing again, it helped me to learn how to grieve. It helped my kids to learn how to grieve. They'll have a head start instead of my experience repeating. And I'm going to live for that little girl. Thanks for listening. The geese like to chime in. It's also a muskrat morning. The muskrats came out this morning. That was nice too. Much love. Bye.